Hey, hey, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good. I didn't wait long enough for you to reply. I'm sorry about that. I just kind of went on to my own status update. Uh, anyways, I hope you're doing well. Let me turn off the lights. I'm still in my day job clothes. I don't know. I just want to get going. I want to get back to the game. I don't want to go change into more comfortable clothes. I'm just so intent on continuing on the game. This ain't no fucking around. Okay, a little bit of fucking around. Alright, let's demo. Let's demo. What do I get to demo today? Oh, nice. That's right. I made it so that the faces only appear when their corresponding character is talking, which is the thing I had to keep on explaining again and again. The faces won't be up all the time; they'll just be up when somebody's talking. So let's demo that. So these tiny little figures, these tiny little guys here, they have no hope of conveying drama and dialogue. So I added faces that pop up over the top. And they only talk when the character talks. Okay. Now this is a little confusing because the face that is shown is not matching the character it goes with. I just need more art. I'll put that in. Alright. The other thing that will help a lot is when I have voiceover audio in. Then you'll actually see a cartoon face making the lip movements that go along with whatever dialogue they've got. Okay. So I'm going to push Billy, which will start the next dialogue going. And then you'll see M. Her face will appear with an emotion. Why? She's irritated when she says that. Okay. And so now I've got these giant hands up here. That's God. He's his own character. I will admit, I am not sure how I want to handle face animation with him. He's very non-standard compared to the other characters that take up one little square. I could drop a mouth here, but the other thing that's coming, as soon as I have the voiceover dialogue, I can author this, are that the hands have gestures and they kind of dip up and down automatically based on the volume of audio in the dialogue. That works. I've seen it working. I know it works. I just have a hard time demoing it because I don't have any audio hooked up. It kind of feels like a bunch of things are hard for me to properly test and show the end result without the audio being there. But there's some other catch-22 type stuff to sort out. Catch-22 is like a circular requirement. You need one thing in order to do the second thing, but in order to do the second thing, you have to do the first thing. The truth is, it's not really that circular. I can sort it out. But there are some tools for editing the audio that I want. I had a tool, it works, I should say it worked really nice. And then Dropbox, had a falling out with Dropbox. The tool was based upon storing things in Dropbox. And I don't want to use Dropbox for anything ever again. Or any kind of cloud storage system, to be honest. I won't make such an extreme statement about as I just made, though. Let's see. I don't want to use 4 assets in my game that are part of the build. I don't want them to be edited and stored inside of a cloud storage-based system. It's just not a good design. The files are large. I don't trust these services to manage them well. It's inefficient to load things constantly from cloud-based sources. So it's really not a good design for working with large multimedia files, WAV files and such. So that tool is not working. I could fix it, but I don't know that I want to have the exact same tool for reasons I just discussed. It was based on cloud-based storage. Also, it's got some other bugs in it. I've seen it'll do funny things because I tried to do something kind of clever with it, using like a rich text editor that would format things in nice ways, and it looks kind of cool. And it does basically work, but there are some bugs in it, and I've got a little more respect for the difficulty of making any kind of rich text editor. You'll notice most of them have bugs in them. Just really annoying bugs that you, as the user of a editor, will just learn to kind of work around. You know, things like you make an extra line in a bulleted list, and maybe you don't want it to be bulleted, so you remove that bullet point, and then suddenly you remove all the bullet points from the rest of the list. You say, no, that's not what I wanted to do, and you become like a master of avoiding all these problems or working around them, just because your brain sort of trains up to do it. Anyways, rich text editors, they're hard to make without bugs in them. And my tool is based upon being a strange kind of rich text editor that would show representations of audio data inside of a text document. And it worked. It just had bugs in it. And, you know, if I'm going to have a workflow that is repeated for hours of dialogue, where somebody's going to go through and set the locations of lip animation frames, I don't want there to be little bugs for them to work around. It might not be me that's doing it. I might hire somebody. And I don't want there to be cloud-based storage on it. It's just a really rickety way to build it out. But I did do one thing extremely right, and I'm proud of it. It's an innovation. I've never seen it done before. I believe it's the best way to edit lip animation. And you know, there's different products and assets and things become available. I've looked over the years at many different assets, many different pieces of software that were supposed to be really great tools. I've talked to salespeople where they would give me a preliminary quote, and then they would give me a demo of the software, this really secret software you can't just download and preview yourself. You have to have a talk with a salesperson. And I get it, I try it out, and all these things disappointed me, every single one of them, every last one. And whenever I start talking about this, somebody says, you should just try X. And then I try X. It's not that good. But you know what? My thing is actually pretty damn good. It works quite well. It seems arrogant for me to say, like, I would rather use my tool than, say, some Adobe product or Toon Boom animation, a choice that a professional animator might use. But my tool is actually, for my purposes, it's better than anything else I've seen. And I've seen a lot. So I actually had a race with, I didn't structure it like a race, but I had a race, let's call it a race, between myself and another animator. She's a professional. She's very fast. She's very good. And I did lip animation for one piece of audio, and she did it as well with her choice of tools. I did it with my tool. I was about 4 times faster. Now, we didn't sit there all at the same time and say, go, and do it. No, it was just a timed exercise between first me on my own time, her on her own time at a different, not having it simultaneously. Comparing the results, I saw I had something on my hands here. It was fast. I've also gotten quotes from offshore companies, people with skilled animators in economies where there were advantages to me with the American dollar versus their local market and all that. Never got a good quote that even matched, like if I just pay somebody in my own city minimum wage, not a fully trained animator, but just someone with a little bit of a knack for listening to audio, I can do it cheaper than anybody. So that's what I'm resurrecting. Question is how exactly I want to do it. So the old tool, like I said, it's got problems. But I think what I really want to do is to bring the equivalent functionality into Unity or a Unity-based utility, and just create like a little Unity app that allows this editing method that I've created to work. I've got a lot of JavaScript code I can port over. I've got a fair amount of code in the Godkiller Unity project that can be reused. So I don't think it'll be a big deal. But I'm going to do something though, because I have this sort of personal mandate to make some clear progress every day. I'm going to go and fix one of the levels so that I've made some progress today, and then the rest of the session I'm just going to be brainstorming a little bit on how I want to resurrect this tool. Okay, so I've done additum, I've done alter spelling, average basement. I think I did average basement. Let me double check. I'm going to do rail fix. I'm going to fix the rails in one level. And that'll be my clear progress that satisfies me for making progress, not screwing around and fooling myself into thinking I'm making progress. So it's like a personal motivation thing. I won't go into it deeply. But it's very important for me to make progress every day. Did I do this one? I'll be able to tell real soon. I did it. Okay. If I didn't, then these rails would be screwed up when I got close to them. They would be missing parts. Okay, let's go over to another scene. I think the one after that one. Beards, block, axles. Okay, so when I made changes to a prefab for the rails that included adding level of detail to it, what happened was stuff like this. So it's missing this little bit here. So I'm just gonna pick out all the rails. I noticed that some of these were clones, and or they were used with my clone tool, and those didn't get affected by the prefab because they lost their link to it. When I replace these, I'll get LOD effects on these other clones, so that'll be a good thing. Okay. EDN. This will not take me too long. Almost done. Rail West. Now I gotta look for rail ends. I might not have much. Let's see. Must be some other rails in here. Oh, here's the other rails. Okay. So let's see. I'm actually looking forward to getting my iPad, because that might be a nice point in time to start making some more character faces. I might take like a week or so where I just do art, knock out all the character faces. That would be pretty cool. Might take me more than a week. Might take 2 weeks. Let's see, where else? I think that's it. Okay, so then we unpack this guy. And okay, then let's see. Edit snap settings. Need to be more finely detailed with this placement. Okay. Delete the extra there. And this wasn't part of the original thing I was fixing, but I noticed that I'm missing a rail corner there, so I might as well fix that. Set my snap back. Oh, another rail down there. Okay, let's get that. like this so I can delete those extras. Okay. That should do it for that. Pretty sure. So here's the thing. If you make grid-based puzzles and you're into symmetry, it's just a matter of time before you accidentally create a swastika. And you're like, God damn it, I don't want a swastika in the middle of my level design. Everyone's going to read way too much into that. So yeah, like when I see a swastika, I have to pull out some part of it so I don't send the wrong message. And it does make me sad because that particular just symmetry with 90-degree angles, like that particular design, is kind of nice to use. Make little spirals and stuff, and but yeah, you gotta. I mean, unless you're really going for swastikas, you gotta take out the swastikas. I mean, there's a long list of things you might be mad at Hitler for, but ruining a perfectly good graphical symbol, man. I'd be so pissed if somebody just like took a circle or something and just like did the most evil shit in the world, and suddenly we can't use circles for symbols, or I don't know, an octagon, or who made you the king of that symbol, and why do you get to ruin it for everybody else? Man. All right, let's go to a simpler level. I always go to this one. It's just my junky test level. And I guess I want to just explore timelines a little bit. I want to get an idea of what can be done with them, because my thought is I could perhaps create a tool. It's an editing tool, and it uses timelines. Goddamn you and your oversized influence on me because of your abundance of reasonable ideas. Hey, Cicada. So I'm going to fuck around with timelines a little bit. But I'm sticking to my guns on portions of the tool that I know I want to do a certain way, because I've been through some months of work on this and have gotten good results out of it. Boom. All right. So you're going to see some very inefficient exploration. Boom. Yeah? Like what kind of level design stuff? Cool. Cool. Let's see. Create. Make a folder. Timeline stuff. That's cool. maybe I'll take a little detour to this other project. Okay, let's save that. Scenes. I think it was testing tile shader. That's the one. I don't know why Unity has to put me way out in the middle of nowhere every time. So yeah, so I got like some shader thing, and it's let's see, where's the material? Delete me later. And then I passed in, you know, this thing that had, yeah, I think so, if I understand your meaning. I passed in this guy here, which was, it's like just a junky thing that's got different tiles. And then there's another texture, but it's like, this is just programmatically generated. And then there's some parameters for like what the size of different things are. The thing I was having trouble doing was getting the sampling that was used to set the color of this pixel to come from the right place within the tile texture. It was just, I don't know, it felt like I was missing fundamentals. Like I was doing too much trial and error stuff. Like I'd fiddle around and say, does that work? No. Okay, does this work? No. So it sort of left me with a feeling like I would just slow down and kind of understand each piece of code. Yeah. Or get somebody else to do it for me. It's better at it. Instead using vertex color painting with mass. Yeah, I guess I don't understand that second approach. No, disagreeing with it. I just don't understand it. Don't have the right stuff loaded into my head to understand it, maybe. But yeah, so let's see, the other stuff that I wanted to be able to based on vertex color, you can fade blend between different textures. Sure. So the stuff I already have that I would kind of like to recreate is this thing where, based on a certain height, it will change the wall texture. R channel would control grass. B channel would control dirt. That's interesting. So in that way, you would not need to figure out where to sample from the source texture. There'd be no coordinate management. You would just decide based on the values in your RGB channels how much you're going to show of a given texture. And you'd have to pass in to the shader, you'd have to pass in like maybe 3 source textures for your types of things that you want to draw. That's not bad. That's not bad. That feels like I think I could probably write that code. The downside of it might be maybe performance. Like suppose you had like 20 different tiles that you wanted to alternate between. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I could see it working. I also feel like a little bit irritated that this shader I've already got, which seems like it has everything there, it's just that I haven't figured out the coordinate mapping into the source texture correctly. I'm also kind of frustrated. It's like it feels like it's just right there. Like somebody that was just a little more knowledgeable than me would really just make one change to a line of code or something like that, and it would suddenly work. I mean, the code is all there. Let's see, which is the one that I made versus the one that somebody else made? Was it this one? This is the one that I made, but it was really copied from somebody else who said they had it working, but when I tried it, it didn't work. There's all kinds of things that are commented in and out because I was just trying to debug it, but yeah, there's not that much code. The thing I borrowed it from, they said it worked. I didn't have a working set of files where I saw it working, so I assumed some changes would be needed. Or maybe it's one of those deals where somebody dumped some code and it actually never worked. They just said it worked and it didn't work. So that happens. But then, like, if you take somebody's snippet or somebody's third-party code, and it doesn't work when you use it, then what's left but to understand how it works? Like, you might have gotten away without understanding that code if it just worked, but it didn't. So then begins the hard journey of just like, okay, what does this line do? What does that line do? I don't think I made that journey all the way. And this sounds very defeatist the way I'm talking, but it's more just like what I was talking about before. Is I want to be modal about these things. So there's probably going to be one of two things will happen. Either I'll have like a block of shader programming time, meaning like weeks long. I do all my shader stuff at one time, or I'll just hire somebody, take all the shader stuff out of my task load, and Uh, so for that one, I'd be writing out just like some really short specs and say I just need the shader to do this, this, and this, given following things, and then, you know, get some kind of estimate from a contractor and you know, pull the trigger, get it going. I tried to get the guy who wrote the original sample that I borrowed from to do some work, and he goes, "No, I don't want to." He said it nicer than that, but yeah. Anyways, back to timelines. That is a pretty decent idea, though, with just loading in multiple textures and then using like a control texture to decide to what extent you're going to show each of the other textures. Because that is actually the last thing that I'm having trouble with. Well, okay, what would you call it then? The thing where you had like RGB, R's grass, G's. Oh, the mesh data. Huh. So I mean, I'm not arguing, but I'm just asking, why would you choose to use mesh data instead of just a texture that has the values of what you might want? Okay. Okay. All right, let's go back to this. I want to stop looking at this level, which just draws me in too much to an old problem I'm not ready to address right now. All right, let's go back to the timeline. Where did I put it? I put it in animation timeline stuff. Okay, let's open that up. Okay. So, basic ability to put events. Let's see, what kind of events can I put here? Control track, signal track. I just don't know what all these things are, so. It's undefined. So there's, okay. So I'm exploring the capabilities of timelines and deciding to what extent do I want to pull some of the events for facial animation into a timeline versus maybe some events I may maybe track slightly different. So the types of events that could go in the timeline. Changes to emotions, changes to the attention target of the face. Okay, now I do not want code that says change this specific transform or you know, I do not want direct scene manipulation calls. I want the interface between the timeline track to be more abstract than that, because I've already got essentially a rig in the face that can do emotions, lip animations, all the things I mentioned. Okay. Just create an empty. And then you're saying a component timeline director. Yeah, I don't know how to do the thing you just said. Playable director. Okay. I see. All right, so we say it. Okay. All right. So now you see the bindings popped up, the drop down. I don't know what you're referring to there. Oh, maybe this you meant. Okay. And you're saying I should drag. Okay, add an animation track. Okay, so that come over here, animation track. Okay. So then we go back to the game object. So I don't lose track of it. Playable director. Okay. Okay, and that takes an animator. I mean, this feels overwrought to me, but I really just want to call functions from events that I place in the timeline. I'm probably seeing it a little bit in a biased way. Okay. Okay, signals. Okay, what am I putting in there? So there'll be some script that I write that receives signals. Is that right? Cool. Okay. So then, if I've got that script there, then I could go to this the signal receiver. I should build a signal emitter. Okay. Okay, emit a signal. Okay, your project contains no signal assets. Alright. It just feels like there's so much to define for this. Just to get the thing that I like the most about the timeline is just that there's a UI here that I can click around in, and I can put events in, and I don't have to write a timeline editor. So that is like the most. That's like the most cost-saving type of a thing. And if I made my own, it would, it would be junky compared to this one. This one's got like nice UI features and stuff. Yeah. Another goal I have, because I just do not trust Unity. This game I'm making, and it's supposed to be a multi-release thing. It's supposed to be the same code that works a decade from now. So if I have a lot of authored work that is in a Unity specific format, there's a fair chance that I have a ton of work to maintain and upgrade as Unity versions come out and they deprecate things. And I've lost assets before just because there was no upgrade path. So I do need to have some kind of export to a neutral format. Yeah, but I mean, like what I mean is they do a shit job of making sure that everything from one older version to another version works. They really do. I can open up certain levels where it seems like the project files got corrupted or something, and I just had to start over on them. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay to have something based on editing assets and timeline. But I think I would choose to make some kind of export format that is not tied to the Unity engine. It's just like an option in case I get fucked up with all their upgrades that they do. Okay. That's good. And also, it's like I'm not running away from timeline. I'm just thinking like how to keep myself from getting painted into a corner 10 years from now. It should be fine. I'm probably overstating the risk there. Yeah. So when I get my flow going, there'll be thousands of these timelines. Just like one for each line that a character says. It has to be fast to edit these things. So, like, it should be possible for me to just say, okay, let's, right here, I'm going to change an emotion right here. And then this, I shouldn't have to fuck around here. I suppose, here, let's create a signal. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, let's find a junky script location to throw some stuff into. Let's see, animation. No, not there. Scripts, animation, new folder, timeline, tests. Okay, let's call this maybe a motion signal. Okay. So if I have an emotion signal, that's just one type of signal. There's no parameters with it. So maybe I'd have to make one signal for each type of emotion that I want. It might be like a happy signal or something. Check the asset of a signal. Okay. I think you mean like go look at it inside of here. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, but I think I understand it right though, and I think on your signal track you would create one type of signal for each thing you want to fire an event. And there would be some kind of signal receiver class. That's another class. Here, let's see if I can just create one from here. Okay, and the signal receiver class is going to have some kind of callback for receiving events. I'm guessing. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we can do that. That's no big deal. Duplicate, right? So that I could get a bunch of signals here, but then the signal receiver. Oh, you mean up here? Yeah, sure. So okay, this isn't bad. This is not bad. But the signal receiver would be the thing that is the glue between the signal and whatever handles it. So if I want the face to be updated. Anyways, it's just glue. You can't have like just one general signal receiver that works for all the different timelines. Yeah. I mean, honestly, if I just have some way that this editor can store the information, I can process the timeline myself, generate the data structure and file format that I want. Okay, I'll look into custom timeline tracks. Let's take a look. Unity custom timeline track. I don't want to watch a whole video. Where's the just normal docs? Okay, let's see. if I'm going to do this, and I want to get out of this project, I just don't want to keep on importing stuff into this project. This is my baby. So let's go, save all this, and let's just go to a different project. Do a new one. Okay, and let's go. Very cool. A vote of confidence. Okay, just in case I need to do like some login type stuff, I'm gonna go to big stupid head mode just for a little bit. Add to my assets. Open in Unity. Sure, open the Unity app. Sign in to access your assets. Yeah, I realized you weren't like just bragging just for the sake of bragging. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Just, what was the name of this thing? Okay, back to the open in Unity thing. Open it again, please. Default playables. Download. Import. Import all the crap. I'm swearing a lot tonight. I don't know why. I don't know why. I think it's just he's just remembering past abuses of Unity of me. Did it import? Did it import? I thought I just clicked import. No, it did. It did already. Okay, cool. Done with that. Okay. Default playables. Here we go. What is the front door to this thing? Documentation. All right, open that. Open the playable wizard. Select timeline playable wizard from the menu. Cool. Normal and standard blend playable. Yeah, there's a lot here. Let me see how well it goes if I just, where's it at? No, it's not up in there. Okay, editor, is that where I'm going? No. Window, okay, window. There it is. Okay. Nice. I think. Let's type the object the playable will affect. So if I had my class in this source code, I would select it from here, like the one that I use for controlling my face. I don't have it defined, but that's okay. I can pick something else that maybe something I understand a little bit. Has some methods. Yeah. I think. Let's do audio. Light. You think a light's good? Okay. Okay. This I could see how that could be helpful. Oh, nice. Okay, let's say, okay, would I be able to pull, I should be able to pull anything that's loaded here. So I could put, yeah, exactly. But for now, I'll do a string. Can I do just a normal? Yeah, I can do a string. Okay. This is pretty cool, I gotta admit. Clip caps. That's fine. Okay. All right. Let me just try this to start. Oh, just this guy? You're saying then we just have everything so we can just kind of see what it looks like. Okay. Okay, I'm going to create. Okay. So I think I'll just go look at the source code if I can find it. Assets, garbage playable. Oh, nice. Okay. Let's see if new window. Okay, gonna load in the assets. Okay. Okay, so I'm just looking at these different things we got. That's true. I don't need to blend. Let's see. Create playable track. Behavior. Okay. Okay. Call it runtime and edit time. We got the playable. We got this. I don't know what's in here yet, but I could find out. This is probably going to be like the string, maybe. That one variable. Maybe I would cast this to something. Use data of script playable. okay, got it. And then this in my real code would be like my face controller. Let's see, where is that? Input playable equals playable get input I equals 0 to input count. I think I get it. The input object, so this here. Okay. So I think this means that I could create a new timeline. And I should be able to add garbage playable track. Oh, this is nice. Okay, so then I say add a signal, add a clip. I think a clip. Is that right? Clips, okay. Garbage playable clip. Template. Okay, this is the string variable that I put in. Okay, so I put that there, and then I guess when I hit play here, it could, in theory, here, let's say off. All right. So yeah, let's try it out. Let's try it out. If I just set the debugger here. Okay, so this should run in the editor. So I'm guessing I hit play. Oh, I hit the wrong play. Yeah, it was like, okay, but what's the thing that would happen in the editor though? Okay. With the game object in the scene and everything. Okay, create empty. Playable director. Okay, and then we do junkie timeline. Okay. Okay. Then I could set something there. Okay. I'm seeing how it could work. I'm seeing how it could work. So let's hit play, and then let's see if the debug code gets called. No, I must have missed something else. Okay, that's what I was hoping to do actually before. I think maybe this guy here. Oh, no? What am I looking for then? I see. Yeah, it didn't hit the breakpoint though. Maybe because it came up here. I understand. Okay, there. Okay, so maybe the track isn't bound yet. Yeah. It's attached to editor. The track isn't bound. What does track binding mean? Oh, maybe it just means that I didn't set anything for the light. That's probably it. Because this is just coming from player data as light. I didn't set anything in the object instance. All right. Understood. Let's set another breakpoint here. And bam. And then... Okay. Well, if I... No. Stop line. Just stop. Well, it's exiting before them because I haven't set a light, so I'm just gonna drag a light into here. There we go. So now we're down there. Understood. Input doc. There we go. Cool. All right. I'm gonna go pee. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna try to work out like an actual design based on this. All right. Awesome. Food is a thing that people need for their lives, and I want you to have it too. Oh, gotta turn that light off. It's way too bright. Okay. I'm just thinking about this. Let's go do... Yes, I want... I haven't figured out how to just make a text file. Just make a text file. Not a solution. Let me see. No, not there. Assets. Okay. Add. Scratch file? I don't know what a scratch file is. That kind of sounds right. Maybe just a file is all I want. Let me see what is a scratch file. Markdown would be nice. Plain text will do. Okay, there we go. All right, so Rex requirements supports. Okay, timeline supports these events. Viseme, attention target, emotion. I keep forgetting all of them. Okay. It's just not, okay, while editing timeline, I can see a preview of face. Okay. Visemes will come from a separate editing interface that will populate the time, like a editing dialog. Dialog will open. Use the lip style interface for playing back audio and placing Viseme events. When dialog closes, the events will be programmatically added to the timeline. Okay. Scalable, well organized solution for managing thousands of individual timelines for editing and playback. Scenes, load assets they need. Speech, say. speech say, initiates timeline playback. Editing is fast. Let's organize this by editing versus playback. Editing. Oh man, you know what? I got like, that's some good teamwork there. That's like I could not more optimally figure that stuff out through other resources. So that was extremely helpful. Yeah, that saved hours and hours and hours, maybe days. But I do quite like that tool that you pointed me to. It's very clear. It does seem well coded. Okay. So maybe the first thing for me to figure out is the assets and scene objects that will be required. Okay, so I'm picturing yeah. Oh, it looks like a good one. It really does. I quite like that wizard interface. Has a lot of nice touches in it. Most of the options make sense without thinking too hard. So if I go back to project here, a timeline. All these timelines will be one per line of dialogue that the character speaks. I think I would organize them in directories like per scene. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's do some open questions. Let's say asset organization. Yeah, scrubbing's great. Let's see, what else was it? 2 projects or 1. I could make a tool project. And a game project, e.g. tool project plus game project. You'd think 1. Just avoid managing dependencies. Just throw the editing tool in with the player. Or I might start developing it in a tool project, and then when I felt pretty good about it, move it over to the game project. Because there is a nice thing that everything builds really fast and play happens fast when it doesn't have to work with all the rest of the code. I've got like ASM defs and stuff set up, but it still seems to be the case that, you know, I'll have like a 15-second delay on the main game project to hit the play button. What is domain reloading? I'll Google it real quick. I won't make you explain it in chat. Unity domain reload. Interesting. Okay. So probably here it'd be like assets, I don't know, something like dialogue and organized by level name and timeline. Alright, this would be like speech ID. Yes, okay. Oh, I'll have to try that. That sounds quite promising. Okay. I don't want to get sidetracked. I'm already thinking about some other things. Let's see. Oh, I know, but I'm deep in thought here, buddy. I made a note in my Scratch document. Come on. I'll come back to it. Did I not try out the forward rendering change? Or what was it? No, not the opposite. Forward, the other one. Yeah. Okay. That seems fine. Okay, what do the classes look like? Generate a face playable set of classes. Although I could divide these out into different events. Yeah? Because I got multiple tracks. So I know, man, but I got my dreams. And these are not things that I just idly say, I think I can do it. I did it well before. Did it well before. TV quality. All right. So here I'm thinking maybe I want one track per each type of thing instead of having like a general set of events. So I'm thinking face. Visine playable. Face. Emotion playable. Face. Attention playable. And that makes no? You think it's just better to just go with one general? Don't subcategorize, you think? For performance reasons, or? Well, what's your reasoning though? Like why is one better than another? Okay. Let me try a few things. Let's create another. Let's call it face playable. And then we'll just do light again. That's fine. It's the behavior variables I'm most interested in. Okay. Is there some just ready-built enum here? Let's do. And we'll call this keyboard input. That would have been a good one. Emotion. And now let's put some happy. Sad. There we go. Let's see, what's the name of that namespace? Default. It's going to be default. Okay. Okay. Oh, I think it probably needs me to start it again. Okay, let's see. If you use an enum, make sure you number it in code. Otherwise, good point. Good point. Okay. Let's see if this now shows it. Let's see. Emotion. Okay. Just double check that this builds. That's public. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. There's something else I have to do to get my classes to appear here, I think. But anyways, I might be off on a tangent. Ah, okay, cool. Anyways, but you assure me that it is possible to get your own classes in there. Okay, let's see. I don't need to prove everything. I just want to know it's possible. Okay, motion. Nah, okay. I believe you if you tell me it works, that you can get your own classes and enums in there. That's good enough for me. Okay, key code. Where is that at? Right. I don't know. Was it input? Where is that? Okay. Okay. So let's come back to here. Anyways, I'm off on a tangent, really. I need to just do a thing where I can get an idea of how fast it is to drop these events in and edit them. So we'll say face emotion. And what is there? No, okay. Int. Huh. Yeah, I don't understand the drop downs here. Oh, now I can't get string anymore? That's weird. Oh, I don't know what that is. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm looking at the wrong thing. That's, yeah. It's these behavior variables. Okay, so I bet you that if I go down to motion... No? Dang it. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, the track binding type would be... it would have to be a class, I guess. I don't know if it needs to implement a certain interface or derive from anything, but okay. Okay, let's do an int. Let's do this be emotion. Okay. And actually, let me see if I can do the key code again, because I want to see if... Dang it. No, there's no key code. Huh, okay. Now let me see what a bool looks like. Bool example. Because that's another way I could do it if I don't like the drop down stuff. How it works, I could just do it like a checkbox, but okay. Let's leave that alone. Alright. I guess I'll do all these again. A grid with Odin Inspector. Don't know about that. Oh, I'll keep on going here, but not finding the thing you're talking about. Okay, that's fine. What am I missing? Track, binding type. Let's go do the light again. One of the variables has an invalid character. Remove that. Okay. Okay. So then let's add a face emotion track. So I wasn't able to find any enums to use, but I think it should just be a drop down in that case. I might find it faster for editing purposes to use bools, like one for each potential emotion. There's kind of a thing where it's not really correct for me to have a range of time, like with a clip. Like it's really just a single event. But I suppose it won't really matter because that on process callback is just going to receive the event data, and I don't need to look at the full range that it covers. So if I just want the motion to be set in one place and I set this, let's see, I'm trying to just do a little bit of basic editing here. I don't know why it's not letting me. Yeah, it's just that suddenly I can't change my position in the timeline. I'm sure it's just a little thing. Oh, yeah, stupid thing again. Okay. So okay. We can do the lock. We should move the timeline window down to the bottom. Yeah, maybe, yeah. In particular, if I'm using like something in the game view for scrubbing, that would preview the face. Yeah, exactly. But for right now, there's nothing to preview, so I might as well just leave it there. So I could just be popping these things in, be clicking bools down here, or doing a drop down, assuming I can figure out how to get my enums to show up. Okay. And you're saying that it would be annoying to have more than one track type up here. It might slow me down. Scroll to zoom. Middle click to pan. Yeah. Okay. I feel like these are like the arrangement of like how many of these I make is not that big a deal. But it might be like, okay, so if I'm editing the emotions on one track, and the emotions, they aren't affected by the other types of events that I care about, then there's something nice about, say, if I have an attention target track, that it's not cluttered up on this other track with the other kind of event. So I think Visemes, attention target, emotion, that would probably do it. The next thing I was wondering about is, I don't want to make like one game object per timeline. So I think everything I need as far as the data is concerned is in the timeline. But I could have maybe like a single game object that's responsible for... Yeah, exactly. So maybe there's just one game object responsible for timeline playback, and then the code which is going to trigger that, one piece of dialogue would play or another, or one timeline animation would play, would swap out the playable to be whichever asset was appropriate. That does beg a question. Yeah. Another way to do it could be that... Another way to do it could be that all of the dialogue is inside of one timeline for one scene. So I could have one game object in one timeline per scene. But there'd have to be like some markers or something inside of the timeline to interactively move to different places in it. Okay. All right, let me read back through some of the things she said. Okay, so they have like one prefab. Okay, I'm lost. I need to... I'm like kind of going back up to the top of the scroll box to make sure I've understood earlier things you've said. You want to swap out the timeline asset playable record. Check. Although it's nice to have them, then you can just enable them. Okay, that's the part I think I might be lost. When you say, although it's nice to have them each have their own, I think you mean game object. But do you mean an asset like a prefab, or do you mean in the scene they each have their own game object? Okay. And then I would... I guess it wouldn't be horrible to have, maybe 40, 50 game objects in a scene that each correspond to a timeline. But there is that sort of gross activity of linking up all the game objects and timelines inside of each level to match whatever was in the assets folder. So it's like an extra bit of linking things up that adds time. There might be some more automated way to do that. Like I could say with some code that it's going to say for all the assets inside of this directory, just create them automatically in the scene. Okay, now I see a little bit better what you were talking about. Okay, so these are different states. What kind of component is this though? Okay. I see. Again, I've got a similar problem though. Meaning, picture a very lively set of editing and changes in the waves and the animations there. Like we might play with some of the audio, and in playtesters might give us input, or we might have some changes we have to make. So if I have a lot of things that are linked up to the assets that have to be recreated in the scene, like if I have to make my game object match the latest round of edits, and that can get slow. Well, no, I mean like, okay, so you've got some kind of game object in your scene that is going to have a whole bunch of playable directory components inside of it. All of these need to match up to corresponding timeline assets. So in addition to bringing in the wave files, creating a timeline for each of them, none of this is all that bad. It just kind of adds up. In addition to that, there's also going into the scene, creating a game object, adding all the components to that game object, kind of like you've done here for the playable directors, linking up each playable director component to the corresponding asset. I got thousands of these things. And when I have to make edits, yes. So that was one of my points, which is I'll probably want to write some kind of automation that makes the workflow not ridiculous, like something that might like add in all these components automatically. Yeah, I think you might have arrived at the same conclusion a long time ago. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, but do you think having like the binding happen just at runtime between different timelines is problematic. Because imagine like each scene, it just had like a general purpose game object with a playable director, and there was some code that set the playable, the reference here, to a specific timeline asset that corresponded to whatever the line was you wanted to play at that time. Yeah, like the first problem that occurs to me is the asset wouldn't automatically be loaded with the scene. Okay, create the prefab, set the bindings, and this is okay. I got you. This is what we talked about. It was like you've got some code that's going to go look at timeline data. Where is that? Where is that coming from? Timeline data. Okay, this gets set. Okay. And then it's going to set up the in-scene game object with the components automatically. Yeah, no, that's good. It also, you know what? It handles the issue of loading the appropriate assets, because since they be referenced in the scene, Unity will just build in the assets in the player so that when you load the scene, you get those assets pulled in too. Oh, no, you showed me edit time code. That's cool. I've got lots of edit time code. I like edit time code. Yeah. No, I think that makes sense. I think your way's pretty good. I like to play with maybe different ways of doing it. But I don't know that like it would be a good idea to set it at runtime anyways. It seems like it would run into problems. That first idea I had. Okay. So let me think. What else is hard? A lot of stuff is just you just work through it and it's done. It's no big deal. Not too much here. I am kind of weirded out now by why can I not see any of my own? Oh, I know what I want to do. I gotta find the place where it creates the code for this, so I can see how I could programmatically add in the variable types. Okay, face motion behavior, track. Clip, that's probably in there. maybe not. Template. Face, emotion, behavior. There we go. So if I change this to emotion, I don't know if I'm in the same namespace. So let's see. Namespace, what was it? Default namespace. Does that break it? Well, all these have to be in the default namespace. Or I could just remove the default namespace from the other one. I'm just hacking some crap together. Okay. Yeah, many options. I just want to see this emotion pop up and see what it looks like. Huh. Well, that's okay. As you pointed out, it's not real important to have the wizard cover every possible thing you might want. Okay, there we go. Nice. Okay. Okay, good to know. Main thing though is this is possible. Okay. So the scrubber or the preview I could have happen just by manipulating some preview type object in the scene. And then, as you say, put the timeline down below and have the game window up here. All right, what the hell is this Odin Inspector? What the hell is it? Why is it so good? For productivity, that's why it's good. Because you wouldn't be doing 2 clicks to pick an emotion, you just pick, boom, the one you want. Yeah, this kind of stuff I have to consider because, like I said, it's thousands of lines, and everything that slows you down multiplies. All right, I just take this back to the scratch and cool. I think attention target. Yeah, I could use this for attention target as well. Okay. Okay, so all that stuff, that should work. Let me look through my requirements. Okay, so just go through it. Supports these custom events. That's proven. This I've done before in other projects. I know I can do it here. We'll just be using mixer behavior on process, whatever it's called. Okay, and we prove that the execution will go there in the editor. Okay, this is yeah, my tricky shit I want to do. Scalable. I think so. I think I'm satisfied with this part here. I think I could get to a point where it'd be pretty hard to improve the editing by doing it another way. Yeah, I should look more into that Odin thing for this kind of thing. Yeah. Can I edit previous timelines easily? Sure, why not? Why wouldn't I be able to? Okay. Let's see. Use edit time code to add components for individual timelines as playable director and to a scene object responsible for playing back all timelines. Okay. This would be fine because the game object with all the playable directors will load in the assets that are needed. Speech that initiates timeline playback. Just call the I don't know, the play object, whatever I want it to be. This thing here. Okay, so that's all looking pretty good, to be honest. Yeah. I think it's a pretty good plan. I can't say I have any misgivings about any aspect of this design. Like, there's nothing where I'm saying, well, I guess I'll do it that way and it'll be all right. It seems pretty good. I don't know what IKR stands for. IKR abbreviation meaning. I know, right? Okay, got it. Yeah. All right, it's pretty solid. Gotta thank you again. It's some very efficient pointing, sir. Okay. I think I'm gonna knock off right about here. Gotta go cook some dinner. Cicada, have a good night. I will catch you later. Thanks a lot for the help. I really do appreciate it. See ya.